James once tweeted, "I'm watching League Pass, and I know Bronny's better than some of these people playing right now." That is what LeBron
At what
said.
age did he say?
He
What?
was still in high school, I believe. Better than NBA players. This is another NBA player saying that his high school son is better than these professionals. The same high school son, the same son who was 55th pick of the draft and would not have been drafted had his last name not been James.
No. I
This
mean,
is the
his name could
same
have been James. It's just how he got his last name.
how he got his last name. But that, I, this brings me to my big rant, right? This brings me to my rant. I will flat out say I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am a LeBron James hater, as
Indeed,
someone
you
might
are.
say.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with the man. I think he does really good things. I'm not even a problem with getting your son into the league. That I have no problem with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
We get in all sports, we watch it. We get to watch Kyle Shanahan. How'd he get his first stops? His dad. We get to watch Bill Belichick's kids get to all work for the Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Sure.
Like it's out there. Nepotism's out there. I'm not even mad at that. And I'm usually not mad. I'm usually more mad at the things that LeBron does that aren't they're basketball related, but they're not on the court, right?
Okay. Okay.
So some of the things that pissed me off, all full context, was the decision.
Oh,
I
sure.
absolutely hated the decision,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've absolutely hated every place he's gone after that because of what he does and how he's so important to teams. He has to make the team. He has to have so much power and so many decisions, and he's getting people, coaches fired left and right. And the only reason why they won in Miami, he wanted Spoelstra fired. Pat
Mm-hmm.
Riley said,
No.
"No,
Yeah.
this is the guy that you have to ride with," right? And at the time, I thought Spoelstra was going to do it. But I have a more problem with the way LeBron views himself in the NBA. In some of the decisions he makes,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, I felt at the draft. I watched the whole first round of the draft, and I watched part of the second round of the draft because I really wanted to see where Bronny was going to get
Mm-hmm.
drafted. I was hoping a team above the Lakers drafted him just to piss LeBron off because that's how much of a hater I am of LeBron. But it didn't happen. So where I'm upset is I watched Bronny get drafted in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I watched the first round of the draft pick, first round live, and I was looking at the excitement that all of these draft picks had. A lot of them were crying while they was getting
Sure.
interviewed. A lot of them were just overcome with joy and emotion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they have every right to be. It's
Mm-hmm.
these guys are 18, 19. Some of these guys is the most money they're making. Now, some were professionals in overseas, or some might have even had NIL deals, but they're going to be making large sums of money to play that they probably have not, their family has never seen. And plus, they're also living a
A
dream that they
dream. Yeah,
probably
for sure.
had since they were 5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
able to pick up a basketball.
Yep.
Like they say, only 5,000 people have played in the NBA throughout history,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're talking, what, 75 plus years. You're amongst the small group of people. You have every right to cry and
Mm-hmm.
be emotional,
Yep.
right? Because you've earned it and you're finally there.
Yep.
When I saw Bronny get drafted, it's crazy that I did not see that level of emotion from him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I didn't see that level of emotion from him, now everybody handles it differently. He
Sure.
doesn't have to be emotional. He may not be that type of person. But when I didn't see, like, he was sitting down with his family. I think they said a tear did come down his eye, but it just didn't seem to me. This is just me looking. I didn't see it. I didn't didn't seem that emotional. Someone who all they wanted to do for their entire life is play in the NBA and go to the league,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I saw that, I instantly felt bad for Bronny. Like I felt bad for him in this moment
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like his moment was taken away from him. And to be honest, if any other team drafts him besides the Lakers, I think he's ecstatic because you know that they wanted
They
him
wanted him. Yeah.
for him,
Mm-hmm.
right? They wanted him because they felt that he was a player that they needed on their team, whether he goes to their
Yep.
farm system and goes to the G League, he still knows that he was wanted by that team.
Except for if the Bulls drafted him, then it was an attempt by a Reinsdorf-led team to lure LeBron James to the Bulls because
and
that's what they do.
and that's what I think. Because it was also rumored that what is it? Braun's manager, I forget his name.
I don't know.
It's not Wesley. I want not Worldwide West, but I forget his name. But he told he called teams in the league and said, "Do not draft Braun."
Supposedly, yeah. Unless they were the
Supposedly,
Suns or the Lakers, they said don't draft him.
don't Brad. And I think he's saying that not to say LeBron needs him. He's basically, I'm hoping he's calling to say, if you're thinking that you're going to draft
Bronny to
Bronny
get LeBron.
and get LeBron, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hoping that that's what the call was. Like, if the call even exists. But I'm hoping that that's it. Like saying, if you're going to draft him on merit, but don't draft him with the hopes of trying to lure LeBron. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I hope is what happens. But I was watching that thing and I thought, is basketball making the NBA really Bronny's dream? Is it his dream to play in the NBA? We know it's his father's dream.
Yeah.
We know that. He has said it is my dream to play basketball with Bronny. We know that that is LeBron's dream.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Bronny's going to say all the right things. He's going to say he is his father's son. He is going to say all the right things. Yes, I'm glad to be playing with him. This is what I've always dreamed of. But I feel like he was it's just his moment was taken away, and we're all going to see LeBron and Bronny. And everyone wants to be their own person. I don't think he's going to get that opportunity. I don't think he's going to be treated fairly in the league.
No.
It's just I felt so bad for the kid because he does have talent. He's not trash. He's just needs to continue to work at his craft, right? And I think he comes out of college this year because LeBron asked him to, because LeBron doesn't have many years left on playing basketball.
Yep.
He knows his career's over, and he doesn't have the time that developmentally for LeBron to make it.
Yeah.
And I think he has the skills, but he's just not ready yet. And two things point to that for me. And I've said it before to you. I think his heart condition made him undraftable by every team in the league. I think if he's anybody else with that heart condition, the red flags immediately go up and they don't draft him on GP. Right? And two, he only averaged 4.4 points a game at USC, right? Those two things alone don't say I'm getting drafted into the NBA. It just those two things alone. I think had he had another year to show the NBA that my heart condition is not a thing, the doctors cleared me, the teams cleared me, I've played for a year, you've seen what I've been able to do, and then develop his game to a point where he's maybe averaging 16 points a game. And then I think possibly my thing for him, and like this is me projecting him, I would have loved to see him play a season at USC with his brother Bryce, right? If he would have been a junior at USC, that would be Bryce's freshman year in college. If those two guys played together, and at that point in time, Bronny's a vet on that team. He's a vet on the USC team. He's probably a leader, a starter, and all these different things. That to me, then you come out and then you can get drafted on your own merit. But I feel like LeBron is doing his son a great disservice. I understand that he's getting him into the league, but it's just not. It's just unfair to Bronny because his teammates may not say it. They'll all be thinking it, but his teammates may not say it. But you better believe every opponent he's going up against is going to just talk about, oh, your dad's not here to save you on the blocks right now. It was just an interesting thing to see. And like I said, on the list of reasons to hate LeBron, he just gave me one more.
We need to talk about the fact that he had a sudden cardiac arrest, right? Bronny did.
Yes.
And the family said, well, he's got a congenital heart defect, which means nothing more than he was born with an abnormality in his heart, structural heart abnormality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they knew that was the case before he had his congenital heart defect? Because a lot of times these things don't get discovered until something happens.
Something happens.
Right.
Yes. My son, he had a heart murmur that was discovered when
Mm-hmm.
he was just a routine check.
Yep.
So that we wind up going to a cardiologist, and he's just like, that's just the way his heart is. You ain't got to worry about it. It's just he
Yep.
had MRIs and stuff. So this possible sometimes they may have had some of that stuff, and doctor said, don't worry about it, something like that. So it's possibly they knew, but I don't think they hid that from
Yeah.
USC or someplace
Well,
like
yeah.
that.
So that's my first thing, right? So let's say they didn't know. I mean, a lot of these things they go undetected. Like, who was the? It was the guy that played for the Bulls, then traded to the Knicks in
Oh, Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry. Yeah, he had a
Yep.
congenital heart. Same situation. I don't think
Yep.
he had cardiac arrest, but I think
There was that.
it was discovered during a physical. Maybe I don't even remember.
Yeah, there was that kid a couple years ago who almost died on the court from a heart problem.
Mm-hmm.
He never played again.
Yeah,
He didn't get drafted. The league was like, "Sorry, you're untouchable. We're not gonna draft you," and he never played again.
that's the thing that I'm saying, right? So
Hmm.
if the family knew he had a congenital heart defect that could lead to things like cardiac arrest, or maybe they didn't think it would lead to anything, but the fact that it happened, that should be the immediate pulling of the plug, you would think, right? Like, Bronny, we know it's your
Maybe
dream to play basketball like your dad, but there are things more important in life, like you living.
your life,
Right,
like
right.
your life. Yeah,
So if they knew beforehand and they let him play, and then that happened, and then they still let him play, I to me that's like parental malpractice.
that's negligence.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to tell people how to raise their kids and tell. I mean, he's an adult, right? How to live his life, but somebody's got to be in his ear and be like, dude, you had cardiac arrest. Your
Mhm.
heart stopped.
The thing though is, if anyone has the doctors, you would hope USC has the good doctors, and USC did clear him for practice
Hmm.
again, and they did clear him to play. And I'm hopefully LeBron had his own doctors look him out and said that he's been cleared to play. And like I said, doctors is one thing, but if I'm gonna pay you millions, I need more than that.
Yes.
I need this. That's the thing. That's how I feel about him playing in the league. As a team, I can't risk it.
Yeah, it's high risk, and I don't think it's high reward.
I don't think it's high reward. Exactly.
Because so let's say he develops into a good ball player. Will he be a
Mhm.
great ball player? I don't know. There's so much weirdness between like a parent that's great and like expecting their kid to be great as well. It doesn't ever really happen all that often. But like I don't know, the reward just doesn't feel like the risk. It's just not an equal payoff, right? That's it. So now let's take a guy that did have a cardiac arrest on the football field, DeMar Hamlin, not due to anything genetically
Yes.
wrong with him. He got hit in the heart
Yes.
at,
In
at the
between
one
rhythms.
microsecond that if it happens, you have your heart stops, right?
Yes.
It's almost like the five finger palm strike of death, right?
Yep.
So that happened, and it took him to the point. He played, but like I don't think he'll ever play.
No, I think he's black again. I think
Yeah, I
he's
hope
back.
so, but like it just feels.
He had a year to go out there and play and get confident and not
Mhm.
feel scared to take a hit. I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, like we're old enough to remember Reggie Lewis,
Yes.
who died playing basketball.
Well, no,
Celtics.
he didn't die. Oh, hold on.
His death was attributed to a
Yes.
hypertrophic cardiorhythmia, a heart condition.
Yes.
He was supposed to be the next Celtic great. He was drafted in 1993. Since then, they don't mess with it. I remember Monty Williams when he got drafted by the Knicks, he had like a hole in his heart or something and caused him to lose his draft status, but he was able to play. They don't play around with heart conditions
No.
in
No.
in the NBA.
No. When you as soon as you said Reggie Lewis, I thought Len Bias in my brain at first.
Oh no, that was
cocaine.
drugs.
Yeah.
That was drugs. Yeah, that was drugs.
No, Reggie Lewis. I remember when he passed away, and that because he was number 35. He was a good ball player.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the heir apparent to after
Larry Bird.
After Larry Bird, he was going to be that guy to take the Celtics there.
And he was good. And I was a Reggie Lewis fan. I had a Reggie Lewis jersey. I used to have a lot of basketball jerseys back in the day, but he was one of the ones I had. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, he was a high riser. He looked very healthy. Yeah. He just had a heart problem.
Yeah.
That no one knew
about, right?
No one knew.
Now here's a kid that has a known heart problem, who has had a cardiac arrest.
Yes.
Who you would think I don't think any other team would have drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have gone undrafted. And
his heart problem alone.
Yes, exactly.
He's on a do not draft list.
Yes. And then the fact that he's developmentally raw at best.
At best.
The only reason he's drafted is because this is probably LeBron's last season.
I think he's got like another one.
Yeah, this one coming up. This is it.
Do you think this is it?
Yes.
It could be.
Because why else would he force his kid into the...
See? You see what I'm saying? That just the thought that it's possibly him doing this.
It's 100% him. That dude's got a huge ego. He may be a great guy that does lots of good things for lots of various people.
Yes.
That's all one thing. He's a fantastic basketball player. That's a whole other thing. Like, those things are mutually exclusive from the person you are in your home, right? To your family and stuff like that. And he may be a real hard ass to his kids and his wife and whoever else will be near him. You don't know. I don't know what it's like there.
Mm-hmm.
And just because he's one way here doesn't mean he's the same way somewhere else, right? So it's tough. And I mentioned this, and I just think it's funny that the whole plot of his Space Jam movie, his reboot, was I have a son that doesn't want to play basketball, who just wants to make video games. But I'm LeBron, and you got to play basketball. And it took playing basketball with cartoon characters and Anthony Davis Snake to realize that, hey, Don Cheadle is a jerk. And, because he was a bad guy in the movie. Don Cheadle's actually, from everything I could tell, is super great human being. But Don Cheadle's character is a jerk, and he's utilizing you to get to me, and just because you're really good at this thing and it's not basketball. So I'm gonna take you to a video game camp. That's how the movie ended. Did you see that movie? No, it was bad.
No, I refuse. But I saw parts of it. I've not watched the whole thing, so I do know the plot. Yes.
I will say this. And I am not a fan of the first Space Jam movie. I think it's terrible. This is worse than the first Space Jam movie. It is so bad. Like my kids at the time, this was like 2020, so this is like 4 years ago. So Hadley would have been 8. And she was really into basketball at the time. That's like when she started playing. And she's like, that's all right. Like she couldn't say it was bad. Because she knew in her heart it was bad. I bet if I asked her now, she'd be like, yeah, that was really bad. It was a bad movie. But that was the whole plot of the movie, and then he did it to his own kid. Ronnie just wants to make video games.
He just wants to make video games.
Or sand art or something. Who knows? He has the resources to do anything.
Anything.
It does not matter.
Nope.
He doesn't need it from his dad. Just off of his name alone will get him whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's got it. He doesn't have to play basketball.
He doesn't have to play basketball. But I bet you he has to play basketball. No son of mine won't play basketball.
And then listen. And we've had this GOAT argument, right, between Jordan and LeBron. Mm-hmm. Jordan owned the team, right? not only was he the greatest basketball player of all time, but at the time his kids were playing basketball, he was a part owner of a team.
He wouldn't bring his kids in.
He would wouldn't do that
Nope.
because he wouldn't sully the game.
Nope.
That's the type of guy he is.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Marcus, you are absolute trash.
You are not good enough to be on
You can't
my
be
Charlotte
exactly,
Bobcats.
or be in my NBA.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mike thinks the NBA is his NBA.
Oh, I'm sure until he dies.
You're not good enough to be part of the group of 5,000 people.
Yeah.
You're not that good.
When you think about it, there's only 12-man rosters, right? 30
Yep.
teams. There's only at any given moment during the season 360 active NBA players. That's it. There's 300 million people that live in the United States, and only 360 of them are NBA players.
And 58 of them, I think it's the draft might have 60 people. I think 60 people in the draft. 60 get drafted a year, and of those 60, most of them, half of those won't play.
Yeah.
They won't touch the NBA court.
Nope.
They may put the jersey on and the hat on.
Yep.
They may not touch an NBA court.
Especially second rounders.
Yeah. Yep. So that though, I think it was speaking of that though. I think I saw somebody's like, "Hey, can you name any of these people that were drafted 55th in the league?" It was Bronny's picture was there, and then it was a list of people that I did not know, and then they had Derek White of the Boston Celtics, who just got a nice contract from the Celtics. But yes, that was it. So there's people who have made it. Derek White is definitely one of them. Worked his butt off, but I couldn't see any. I didn't.
I'll
know
give
any
you the last 25. Bronny, 2024.
I know. I know.
Isaiah Wong from the Pacers.
No.
Gui Santos from the Warriors. Or Guy Santos, Gui. Or Gui, I don't know. Aaron Wiggins from the Thunder.
I think Aaron Wiggins, I just saw his name in a trade, I thought.
He was.
It's okay. I don't know who he is, though.
No. Some of these names are amazing. So I'm going to say that's Guy Santos, Aaron Wiggins, Jay Scrubb.
Ooh, no.
These sound like remember that NCAA game for Super Nintendo?
Which March Madness?
Yeah, the one that had like the Super Nintendo, so it was like kind of pseudo 3D. You'd run down, and then the court would flip.
It would rotate. Yeah.
So it had like the teams North Carolina, Vanderbilt, but they couldn't like put real names in. So you had Jay Scrubb, Kyle Guy from the Knicks.
No, never played. I've never seen a Kyle Guy on my team.
Like I don't even know if the name's real. I mean, it's a real name. There's no human attached to it. Arnaldus Kloboka.
That's an awesome name.
That's the Hornets. 2018. Nigel Williams-Goss for the Jazz. Marcus Page for the Nets.
Maybe.
The name sounds kind of familiar, but I don't know. Katie Lalane. Cady Lalane from the Spurs. Samaj Kristen from the Heat. Here's a dude. So let's see. 2013. That means he's probably like, let's say he's 1920. That means he was born in what, like 1993? When did the first Game of Thrones book come out? Was it because this kid's name is Joffrey Laverne. Joffrey is not a very common name.
No.
Darius Johnson Odom. Here's a name that sounds familiar, and I'm sure he plays. Etwan Moore. ''TWAUN Moore. Jeremy Evans for the Jazz. Patty Mills. Somebody named Patty was drafted at 55.
Patty played.
Yeah.
Patty played. Patty was a Spurs. He was a
name.
defensive guy. Patty Mills.
Well, good for him.
Patty played.
That's like a boy named Sue right there. He probably fought his entire life named Patty. Mike Taylor.
No Mike.
Herbert Hill. Ejke Ugboja. Lawrence Roberts.
Nope.
He was drafted by the Supersonics. Luis Flores. Rick Rickert. R-I-C-K.
That's a horrible name.
R-I-C-K space R-I-C-K-E-R-T.
Parents, you must do better. And nowadays, you're moving to people who's born in the 80s.
Now, here's the name I recognize. Luis Scola. SCOLA
Oh, yes, yes, he was
for
good,
the Spurs.
decent. He had a decent career. Yep.
Robertus Jephtokas.
No.
Now, here's the name I recognize, but only because we know another person with this name, Chris Porter.
I, I think I think the only way I know Chris Porter is from my friend Chris
Yeah,
Porter.
but he was drafted by the Warriors in 2000. Those are
I'll
the
tell you
last
what.
25.
When you type in Chris Porter, a comedian comes up. He's the basketball player's second.
I had to show you this here. Apparently, he last time he played was the 2000 season, but he is
That was the year he
so
was drafted. That was the year he was
I
drafted.
know. But here you go. He's so well known. Here's his picture.
Oh no, I think are we looking at the same one?
It's just a silhouette of a black man.
Um, oh no, I'm glad they didn't use his mugshot to the photo
Oh
I'm looking
no,
at
Chris
right now.
Porter, no.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad they didn't use that one.
55th overall. That's the legacy right there.
Yeah, that's that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you though, Patty Mills is the one he's gonna have to. If he's gonna be the best 55th of
Yep.
55th pick of all time, he's got to beat Patty Mills. Patty Mills had a solid NBA career.
Low bar Jay Scrub played 2 games last year, 2022, 23. Oh, it wasn't even last year, 2 years ago. Jay Scrub, and his picture is just as flattering as Chris Porter's.
Oh no!
Like Etwan Moore, I swear he played. I don't know. The name sounds familiar. Yeah, he played for a long. He played a lot of seasons. Played 10 seasons.
10? Who?
Etwan Moore. E apostrophe Twan, TWAUN.
Oh yeah. It comes up.
Yeah. So there you go. Patty Mills, Etwan Moore.
East Chicago, Illinois.
That's why maybe I know the name. Maybe he played for King High School or something like that.
He led East Chicago Central High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like 3 or 4 high schools in Illinois that are like big basketball houses. One is East St. Louis. One is King High School. One is probably that one. Yeah.
He played at Purdue. Yep.
Maybe that's why I know him too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Now I know I make fun of the greatest Purdue quarterback ever drafted. I have a soft spot in my heart for Purdue for some reason. Purdue
I
basketball.
know you do. That's why I figured that's probably where you know him from.
Glenn Big Dog Robinson, I think.
No, he wouldn't have been playing college in the time when you was watching college sports still, but
I don't know. Soft spot in my heart for Purdue for some reason. The Boilermakers.
Gets what's on right now.
Oh, is it your Giants?
First episode of the Giants. I had it up right now on the HBO Max.
I'll watch it tonight. I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah. Oh man, but I sent you that video.
Yes.
Of the Burns thing that they're gonna show, which I thought was pretty funny.
I just love how it's just like a little drop, just a fish, and then he finds out the Brian Burns is available.
It definitely was a little fish.
It was just a little. I'm gonna just like splash some water at you, see if you giggle or not. And they giggled. The Panthers are like, yeah, Brian Burns.
Yeah, and the Buffalo doesn't even listen. Like Buffalo's just like trying to because it's the general manager, I guess, of Buffalo Bills, and general manager of the Panthers, and he goes, "Hi, 6th pick for Brian Burns," and he goes, if we're doing anything, we're trading down our pick," is what he tells, what he says.
Yeah.
And Buffalo goes, "Yeah, that's too rich for us. We can't make the picks." So then it goes quiet for a second, and then the Spurs general manager goes, "How about 2 firsts for Burns?" And that's when you can see Joe go, "Gotcha!" So you kind of just see it in his head.
Yeah, he's working. See, here's the thing that makes me laugh. Here's how dysfunctional the Panthers are. They at one time had an offer of 2 first-round draft picks from the Rams for Brian Burns, and they said, "No, we're building our team around this man." 1 year later, They traded him for a second round and a bag of like Funyuns or something. I don't know what the Giants gave him, but it was not market value in my opinion. I don't know. I don't understand how that trade happened. I'm going to be very intrigued. If the trade happens in the first episode, I feel like they're blowing their load way too early. They need to dangle that one through the whole season on this one.
Yeah, because we have too many bad things that happen to us for that to just be the first thing you come out the gate with. I'm gonna tell you why I think it happened. I saw another list today of the top highest paid athletes that are in New York teams. New York
Okay.
teams. So of all sports.
All sports.
Yankees, Knicks, Mets, Rangers, Jets.
Islanders,
Yes.
Jets.
Of all the New York sports.
The New York Metro, the Liberty.
Brian Burns is the highest paid player at $46 million, it said. That is why the Panthers was not going to trade him, because he wanted. That's what the list said. I was like, that can't be true. $46 million seems way too much. That had to have been with his signing bonus and everything included, because.
All right. So they gave him a 5-year, $141 million deal, which is a ton.
It's
right?
Much.
So, yeah, it says right here he's $76 million in dead cap right now,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense because they're going to push, they got, this is like a interestingly structured contract because it goes 76, 61, 31, then 14, which is very eatable.
Yeah, he's getting all his money first 3 years.
But it's only gonna be 29 then at that
Yeah.
point too.
Yeah.
His cap hit's only 15 and a half this year, so lots of signing bonuses and upfront cash. Prorated signing bonus is $7 million. I wonder how much he got on at signing. Curious.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't-
I saw that I said that can't be right. That can't be right. But yeah, he was number one on the list.
Yeah. He's got $43.5 million cash due this year. Right? So he's getting $43.5 million cash 2024. Nice. Good for him.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, every year after that is only 22, 23, 25, 25. But $43.5 million right up front. Yeah, it's not his annual salary, but that's a nice.
He's beating out Joe Judge. He's beating out all the Yankees players. He beat out Knicks players.
Joe Judge hasn't been in. He was a coach for a while for you guys, right?
Not Joe Judge. I meant Aaron Judge.
I love the fact that he's beating out Joe Judge. Joe Judge is at home right now. That son of a bitch. Why does he make so much money?
Oh, I hate Joe Judge too. Oh no, I shouldn't even brought his name up. I shouldn't even brought his name up.
He was comically bad at coaching.
And you know what? So I defended his take a knee 3 straight times at on their like 5. You remember?
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
He had given up on the team. Right?
Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah.
The Giants had given up. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect the quarterback. And they were going into halftime. It might not have been halftime. I don't even know what they were doing. I think it was halftime.
I don't even know.
And he just took a knee and ran the clock out.
There was like over a minute left, wasn't there?
He took knees.
It's like first and goal for the 5.
He got in victory formation when they were down like 20. He said he did not trust the offensive line. He said he did not want anyone to get hurt. We couldn't protect anything.
It's amazing.
But I defended him.
I know you did.
I defended him as a fan because I'm like, listen, did you see the game? We got sacked 43 times that game.
I remember.
That got him fired. That single move got him fired.
Because it's publicly visible and laughing stock material, right? Yes. That's why.
Because at this point in time, you're not even talking about the X's and O's, because I thought X's and O's, it was a decent move. He didn't want to risk a fumble. He didn't want to risk the safety, which that offensive line was looking bad, but it also visibly says you've given up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't trust your team. And how can your offensive line or anyone in your team look at you the same when you call 3 kneel downs?
Yeah.
It, it,
You lose the locker room after that for
you
sure.
lose the locker room. And I know you talk about the Maras have been watching football for since the 60s, maybe 50s. He's never seen something like that a day in his life.
No.
So yeah, that didn't work out. So Joe Judge, I don't know. I shouldn't even mention his name.
You know what that reminds me of, baseball wise, is when Tony La Russa had like a 1-2 count on I don't even know who. It doesn't matter. And then he intentionally walked the man. He had 2 strikes on a guy and then said, "Walk him." Why? Why would you do that?
What?
Tony La Russa for the White Sox. Yeah, that team. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me angry. Makes me angry. All right.
What's the metric behind walking him with 2 strikes?
There is no metric because no one's ever done it before, and no one will ever do it since. Much like taking 3 knees.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
All right, let's because I really like doing this. I like find these little stats that people list online and going over them. And we talk a lot of shit about quarterbacks at times, right?
Yes.
Here's a stat: highest rate of incompletions last year due to inaccurate passes. So
Due to inaccurate passes?
Due to inaccurate passes. So you have 100% of your completions. If you threw 100 incomplete passes and 100 of them were inaccurate, you have 100%, right? So it's not completion percentage, but percentage of incompletions due to inaccurate passes. Who do you think was the
Lawrence?
The lowest.
So the most inaccurate. Wait, no.
The most
accurate pass.
The lowest percentage of his incomplete passes were due to inaccurate passes.
Oh. Oh, the lowest. Oh, Mahomes.
No, he was third from the bottom with 24.5%.
Quentin Jackson and Herbert and Quentin Johnson. That's what I'm thinking of.
No. So
not Quentin Johnson, but Herbert for the Chargers because of Quentin Johnson.
Herbert is 1, 2, 3. He is 7th from the bottom at 26.4%. There's 3 people below Patrick Mahomes. One found a new home in the offseason and was tampered with. One was a replacement quarterback after the starter got hurt and then still played really well. And then
Dobbs?
And one is one of the best stories in football from 2 years ago after he finally found a home.
Okay. So one of them is Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins at 23.2% is
I said Dobbs, but it's probably not Dobbs. Is it Gardner Minshew?
No, Jake Browning.
Jake Browning. Okay, I wouldn't have got that.
For the Bengals, yeah, 22.2%.
And then the other one is got to be Geno in
Geno
Seattle.
Smith. 21.6% of his incompletions were due to inaccurate passes. Less than a fourth, right? So about a fifth. So if he throws 5 incompletions, he didn't throw a whole lot of completions. I think he threw like almost 70% completion last year.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 out of every 5 was like, oops, flew off my fingers. Oops, I missed the read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rounding out the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have Patrick Mahomes. You had Russ Wilson, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Will Levis. And right above Will Levis, Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. And then Zach Wilson, Brock Purdy. Zach Wilson. But Zach Wilson, I don't think he threw enough passes for it to make a difference.
Yeah.
Highest rate of incompletions due to inaccurate passes.
That's not my boy Lawrence.
No. Trevor Lawrence is close. He's top 7. He's number 7 at 36.1%.
Oh, anyone who was wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform and was throwing the ball last year.
You'd be surprised. Kenny Pickett is the highest on here, and he's at 10th at 35%.
Okay.
So Trevor Lawrence is
Uh,
at 7.
so Kenny Pickett was more accurate than.
Yep.
All
Now I'm
right.
going to
I
tell
don't
you
want to.
right.
I don't
One,
want to say Daniel Jones. I don't want to say Daniel
no,
Jones.
he's not on here. He
Okay,
is,
good.
but
So he's in the middle.
he's in
So
the
he's in the
middle,
middle.
right?
Okay.
So of the top 6, right? Hurt, replacement, replacement, rookie, MVP.
MVP.
Yes. And then, uh, okay, hurt, replacement, replacement, rookie, lost in a championship game, Trevor Lawrence. Or not championship
Hurt.
game, was a playoff team.
Man, who was? Everyone was hurt. Everyone got hurt at some point last year. So, like, no, he
I'm
got
going to
hurt
say
too
his
early to
incompletion
count.
percentage of 43.9% of his incompletes were inaccurate is still higher than the amount of the season he played, I think.
You're talking about Burrow?
No, the other
Okay.
quarterback from Ohio,
Oh, Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson?
Watson, 43.9%.
Yeah.
He led all of, and then you had Tyrod Taylor with
Oh man.
40.6%.
Oh man.
Trevor
Oh,
Simeon,
oh, he threw that pass to Saquon Barkley. I still have nightmares. You can't get more wide open for that. Oh,
Trevor Simeon at 38.8%, Bryce Young at 37.7%, Lamar
oh,
Jackson at 36.7%, and Jordan Love at 36.2%.
wow. That's Jordan Love's bad form, huh?
It's because he's jumping all over the place. He doesn't have 2 feet on the ground at all. Would it surprise you that Justin Fields is right in the middle, like bottom half actually, at 30.8%? Right above Derek Carr and right above Desmond Ritter at 29.5%.
I with Fields, you'd have to give me a passing breakdown of where those passes would go. He was probably more accurate on the sides than he was across over the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So I could
Yeah.
see
Let's see. I had one more. I thought I liked it, but it was inaccurate passes due to
getting sacked.
receiver error.
Oh,
Let me see
oh,
if I can find that.
oh.
Let's see. Incompletions, receiver error. I thought I had. Oh, there it is. I found it. Oh, that's just teams. I don't want teams. I want quarterbacks. Well, we'll just go teams. Gosh darn it. The team with the highest incompletions due to receiver error is your boy Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville, 22% of his incompletions. The least amount of incompletions due to receiver error are the Pittsburgh Steelers at 12%. So it has nothing to do with the receivers.
That means they're where they're supposed to be.
Yep.
They're in the right places.
Yep.
If the ball was to get to them,
Yes.
there's a good chance they'd catch it.
Yes. Yes.
But the ball's not getting it.
13% Philadelphia, Atlanta, Chicago, New Jersey Jets. Carolina, San Francisco at 14%. The New York Jets Giants are at 17%. So like middle of the pack, right? But your Pittsburgh Steelers were the least errant wide receivers of incompletions last year.
They probably didn't see a lot of passes thrown their way in general.
No, they probably so excited every time it happened. It's like,
Man, imagine having to hit certain goals numbers when you only see 3 passes a game.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. If you're on that team and you're a receiver with like some sort of like incentives, incentive based, you didn't get them unless they were real low.
You didn't get him.
You didn't get them. Sorry, Kenny Pickens or George Pickens. Sorry, the other guy.
We don't even get to know. We don't even get to know them because
I can't remember.
we never seen them. We never saw them.
Yeah.
That's why I feel confident about that team. Like
Yeah,
the only problem is the division that they're in
is a very tough division.
is
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
Since we're talking about receivers, we have to talk about this receiver, and his name is CeeDee Lamb.
will not be going to will not be showing up to camp, he said.
He is said he is going to be he will be requesting a trade if they don't meet his contract demands, and he wants to
Oh,
be at least the second highest paid receiver in football.
ooh,
So that's a 32. That's a $32 bill at per year.
what does requesting a trade in the NFL mean?
You request a trade. I guess you.
And
I guess you remove all Dallas Cowboys from your social media,
of course,
right? You got to do that. You instead of being a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, you say you're a wide receiver.
for the
All
world.
things through Christ, right? You got to say that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then beyond that, I don't know. I don't know what you do.
You don't play for preseason
Mm-mm.
and the
Definitely not.
and you don't show up to camp, but then you bring everything back on your social when you have to play game one because you're gonna play game one.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing, though. There are mandatory fines that cannot be like waived, right?
Waived?
They can't be waived, right? Remember, they used to be able to be like, hey,
Yeah.
we'll just call it let bygones be bygones.
Yep.
Now, if the Cowboys were cool, they could say he's a inactive. He shows, but he's showing for camp, but inactive, right?
Yeah.
Which which
It's
gets
how
done
they
quite a bit.
want to.
Right.
Yeah, it's how they want to frame it.
Yeah. So
Even though he told us he's not showing
he's
up.
not showing up, but we don't want to penalize him because we understand it's a business and we're all doing this. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
The Bears did that with Roquan. I mean, it just happens. Happens quite a
Yep.
bit. I don't see Jerry Jones as that type of guy, though. Do you?
To do what?
To let CD be at camp but not a participant, just to avoid fines.
If he wants to keep him, he would.
He would.
Because that's the last thing you want
Mhm.
is to go into negotiations knowing you've just fined this man when you didn't have to.
Yep.
Right? And if your goal is to still keep him,
Mhm.
right? And if your goal is not to keep him, then do what he asks and trade him.
Yeah. Get rid of him.
So, but if your goal is to keep him,
Mhm.
then you would probably not want to fine him.
Mhm.
So,
The thing is, if you're going to trade him, you're dumb because you're doing it now after the draft.
correct. But I think, yeah, because you can't get. There's not much you're going to get for someone of his caliber. There's not going to be player for player. It's not the NBA. That's not how it's going to go.
No, I mean you can still get future draft picks,
You
but
can.
the draft literally just happened, right? So if you were going to move on from him, you should have moved on from when you could have maybe got a wide receiver in the draft or something, right? Like a team's not going to give a wide receiver up to get CeeDee Lamb.
And the thing is, he's definitely not moving this year. Like the Cowboys has pushed their chips all in.
Yeah, I'm going all in.
They have pushed their chips all in.
Yep.
They have a quarterback who's not under contract for after next year.
Nope.
They have a coach who is not under contract next year.
And some would say it shouldn't be under contract this year.
Shouldn't be, but if your quarterback, your coach, and your star wide receiver are all not going to be, you have no choice. But this is the year that you think is going to happen, right?
Yep. Mike is on his 5th year next year, right?
Yep.
So
he'll be unhappy. You trying to tell me Micah with no Lamb, no Dak, a new head coach. First of all, he's going to anything less than the highest paid defensive player of all time. You're not getting him because now he knows you got the money. You didn't pay
anybody else, except for you don't have the money because you're still sitting on all this Dak Prescott cash.
You really are. You are. Oh, I forgot they're done this year and next year.
They're just done. Like, I don't. I just think it's funny. I know we bring it up a lot, but I think it's just a funny situation. And
it didn't make any sense.
No, it does not. None of it makes sense. And I don't think Jerry Jones has a way to wiggle out of this one. I just don't. But we'll see.
You gotta sign all those guys. He has to.
Yeah.
He has to.
I mean, he wants to. You'd think he'd want to. You want to keep CeeDee Lamb. You want to keep Dak Prescott. It's so hard to get a good quarterback, right? And you have one. You have one. And yes, it's going to cost you. That's the cost of having a good quarterback.
And the wide receiver.
And a wide receiver.
You have a quarterback wide receiver combo that is a Pro Bowl for their rest of their career.
They're both top 5 at their position performers.
And not 5, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If CeeDee Lamb wants to get paid the second wide receiver, he's got the numbers to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Dak, if putting his numbers up there next to anyone, I've seen Dak's numbers next to Mahomes' numbers.
Dak's regular season numbers dwarf everyone else's regular season numbers because he consistently puts up between 4,500 and 5,000 yards and 25 and 40 touchdowns every year.
Yes.
Even when he's hurt.
So we're talking, you've got top 5, that's generous, quarterback, top 5 wide receiver. The wide receivers is still prime career. And Dak has got another contract and a half probably of his career. Was he 33, 34?
I don't even know if he's that old. Let's see. CeeDee Lamb is currently 25 years old. And he just...
Dak is 30.
Yeah,
Dak is 30 years old.
Yeah, you think he's got at least... you hope he's got 6 to 8 years left in him. I'm sure he hopes to play for another 10. But
yes,
like that playing to 40 thing is kind of like a...
35 we probably will start seeing some decline. Meaning you've got him for 5 years without at peak Dak.
You think? Yeah. Especially if you got a 25-year-old superstar wide receiver.
Yeah. He'll make it work with the rest of the guys. You put a bunch of Jags on the other side. He'll make it work.
Yeah.
And it didn't even have to be Jags. Just young wide receivers.
They can be Panthers too. Like it don't matter who you put on that team. It don't matter. Like I don't get it. But
you would think that they would see themselves as set for the future, right? Especially in the division right now, who is really, and I wouldn't say this to any of my Cowboys fans, everyone's looking up at them, right? Even though the Eagles have won a championship more recently, they're looking up at the Cowboys just like the rest of us are, right? And the Cowboys would want to keep that advantage because the Eagles are closing the gap. They are closing the gap, and you don't want to plummet like that. Everyone else is looking up at you, realizing that you're the ones that they have to beat. And at this time, you've got a quarterback in his peak, a wide receiver who may not be at his peak yet, who is still ascending, but is already a top 5 wide receiver. You have to make something happen with that. If you're mad at yourself for giving Dak so much money at the beginning, and now he's going to want a bigger contract, making him a $60 million guy because you're stupid enough to pay him the way you paid him, that's not his fault.
No.
So now you're going to punish yourself for moves that you made in the past.
Yes. So the Cowboys, let me pull up their whole salary cap because they have, gotta remember they have Trevon Diggs too.
Yeah.
They're in the East.
They still have DeMarcus Lawrence that they're paying a lot of money to.
Yep. Let's see. Yes. So their top cap hits this year, Dak at $55 million.
Yes.
Which could have been restructured, but wasn't.
Should have been restructured.
Yep. And he's $66 million in dead cap.
Dead cap.
So DeMarcus Lawrence, $20 million cap hit. CeeDee Lamb, finishing up his rookie contract with just about $18 million.
18.
Zach Martin, $15.5 million guard. Trevon Diggs, 14.1. And then we start getting into Terrence Steele, $11 million. Brandon Cooks, 10.
Offensive line.
Yeah. Micah Parsons still on his rookie contract. Micah Parsons is getting paid $5.4 million, which is a lot of money, but is only 2% of the salary cap. And
right now.
And is way below what his production is. And what's amazing is Mike Parsons is 5.4 million. Trey Lance is 5.31 million. Same draft class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got guys like Malik Hooker. Um, they got some decent players on here, but all their money is Dak. Like,
Is that
if they wanted to do something this year, which
they should have
they should
restructured
have, they should have restructured Dak.
and restructured Dak and signed CD Lamb.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't. And now
And
the thing is, CeeDee Lamb is already 18 million against your cap,
yeah,
right? So if he wants to make 32, you figure out how to make that work, and you stretch that out over the next 5 years. Like, it's not hard. Like, all teams do it. Just they put themselves in a position of they're like at the point of no return. They're like stuck in that, like, getting to the intersection and turned yellow a long time ago, and you're like, I'm just gonna go, and it's red.
next year they'll probably drop DeMarcus Lawrence probably. If looking at it, he'll be 33 after next season.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an unrestricted free agent. They can void the contract. He's $7.5 million in dead cap. Chances are he's gonna be. They'll free some money up after the next year, but to a detriment, they lose a one of their best defensive ends probably.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, I think, what is Terrence Steele or no, not Terrence Steele, Zach Martin's contract I think is coming up, but he recently signed again.
Yeah, they restructured his deal, I think. Now, the thing about DeMarcus Lawrence is that last year, he's not under contract. He's an unrestricted free agent.
No.
That's just dead cap money.
Yep.
So if you look at Zach Martin, he's got the same thing. They restructured him. He's got 2 more years and then 3 years of void money sitting on there, right? There's still, he's going against the cap till
4%. 4% of the cap.
Till 2028.
And years he's not even there.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a.
So that's tough.
Yeah,
they're doing that that New Orleans Saints path to victory, where everything is kicked down the can down the road, and then Sean Payton leaves, right? So he's got nothing else to do. Man, Dak Prescott at 21% of the cap, 55 mil. Whew, that's so much.
I need to know just like what's their thinking and why is no one telling him, Jerry, we should probably get this taken care of. We should have probably got it taken care of before the draft.
Yeah.
Why are we not trying to get this taken care of? One of the guys, right? But the strategy has got to be, listen, if it doesn't work, we're burning the whole thing down. That's the only thing I can think of. But what is success? What are you going to view success by? Mm-hmm. A 12-win season and y'all get to the NFC, getting to the NFC Championship is a successful season. Mm-hmm. One game away from the Super Bowl is definitely a successful season on anybody's radar, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Especially since they haven't been there in so long. Yeah. It's definitely got to be a successful season. But 12 wins and a second round exit, is that enough to keep everybody? Like what do you consider when you're putting you got to be putting a metric on how good we have to be in order for me to invest the money into these players. Mm-hmm. But what is that? Because 12 wins, 13 wins, that's average. That's what they've been getting. Mm-hmm. A first round, they can get a first round bye, maybe a first round bye. They've had that in the past. Mm-hmm. Is that a metric? And they've still got bumped in the as soon as they come back in the second round. So it's.
Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
So let's hypothetical it. Let's say the Cowboys run into the season as is, right? They get CeeDee Lamb. It's like, come on, CeeDee, just play for it. This last season, I'll reward you after the season, blah, 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 blah. Right?
Yep.
They run it as is, no restructure. And what happens if, I know it's a huge if, but let's say they get to the Super Bowl, right? Since we're playing hypotheticals. And what happens if they win?
Oh, that's a worst case scenario.
Yeah, I know. Not for Cowboys fans. Well, I mean, it might
not
be.
For the fans.
But I mean,
not for the fans.
You win the Super Bowl, But now what do you do? Because you have no contract for Dak, no contract for CD. You have so the way it goes is the Super Bowl MVP is going to be one of three people probably: Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, or Micah
Well,
Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
Right? So what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Let's say they go out
That's
there and they beat the Chiefs somehow. They're like, well, we did it. Or it's like an all Texas Super Bowl. The Texans and the Cowboys, and the Cowboys come on top somehow.
so the good thing is they will have all of them. They can control them up to a point.
They can only they
They
can
can can't they they can franchise Dak,
one guy. They only franchise one person.
but they still have CD under contract, don't they? Or
No,
see,
this is
fifth
this
year.
is fifth
This
year.
is fifth year.
Yes, Mike is fourth, right?
Whoa,
So
that's
there's
tough.
nothing, right?
That's tough.
Yep.
You man, because honestly, if I'm Dak Prescott at that point in time, I'll see you guys in free agency.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Now it's a bidding war
Yeah.
if you want to keep me.
Because there's always. I don't care the situation right now. There will be 6 teams at the end of the season who are in dire need of a quarterback.
A 31-year-old Super Bowl MVP. How has that ever happened? Has that ever
Probably
happened?
not.
A Super Bowl MVP then goes to become a free agent next year?
Not from the quarterback position. Probably not. No. Like
That's what that if they win the Super Bowl, chances are it's off his arm.
yeah, and
Like
that's what I
just the way the award goes.
like. I'm kind
God,
of
that'd be
cheering
the
for
that's
that,
the
right?
that's an honest to God, and not for the fans. The fans would
Yeah.
cheer for it.
Yeah.
Jerry might even croak. I don't want to say it, but just in pure excitement, and he would finally tell everybody my strategy worked. I knew it.
Then he says, "When I said glory hole, I knew what I was talking about."
And then he just gives up the ghost and
Yep.
he goes where he needs
Spills
to go.
all of his secrets right there, right before death, on his deathbed.
But the next year,
hmm
oh my God, it would be hell.
It'd be just, like the team would be in ruins, I think, because there's no way you'd have to franchise one of those two guys.
And there's going to be guys on that team who weren't expected to make that much money, but once you win the Super Bowl, prices go up.
Yeah, especially if you have a nice
Prices go up.
season. You have a above average season, or you have a great postseason, right? Just how it goes. And then you get guys like Trevon Diggs. Let's say he has like a pick six in it's like, oh wait, we need to start restructuring my deal now, right? Or it just happens. It
Oh,
always
it happens. Once that is not. Oh, that's a bad case for them because like
That's what I'm cheering for now. If it's not the Bears, I'm cheering for that now.
oh my God, that because they can't keep at that point in time. They cannot keep. But even look, but let's say it doesn't happen. Let's say they don't win.
Okay.
They still can't keep some
Nope.
people.
I want it to be like the worst case scenario. I love the idea of worst case scenario happening, especially for teams I don't really care about. Right? Like, so if the Cowboys have the worst, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's like I'm in a elevator with Hitler and all these people that have one bullet. What do I do with it? Right? Like, yeah, the
There is.
Cowboys got to
I'm
fall on
just-
their sword. I don't know.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, so what do you do
Yeah, I don't know.
if you don't have a quarterback in this league? You don't have anything, right? That's the saying.
hmm
So that immediately leaves me that my franchise tag has to go to Dak
You think so?
immediately.
Yep.
But then I'm allowing CD Lamb to hit free agency,
Yes. Assuming you can't
With-
get a deal.
assuming you can't get a deal with almost a sure. If you're CD Lamb, why would you give them any deal?
Yeah.
It's a bidding war
hmm
for my services.
Let it be. Yeah.
It's a bidding war.
Especially if they don't have the franchise tag at their disposal, then it is his duty to make
Yes,
it a bidding war.
to make it a bidding war, 100%. So you gotta think that they can't re-sign him.
No.
They can't. Can they have the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid wide receiver, and the highest paid defensive player? Is
No,
there enough?
I don't think it's
Is there
physically
enough
possible.
money? It can't be.
No, like I mean, you can be creative with the cap and spread it around, but eventually it's going to bite you in the ass somewhere. It has to,
Yes,
unless you just keep restructuring his contracts, and then you got
but
50-year-old
these,
Dak Prescott under as a dead cap. He hasn't played in 15 years, right?
but
Like it's just
but they can't even do that next year.
nope.
They lost the ability to do that next year because there's no one to move around like that. They have no one to restructure.
The
Those
person
will
to
be brand
restructure,
new contracts.
the person they should have extended to help them this
Was
year and in the future years is Dak Prescott,
was
but
Dak
they didn't,
Prescott?
and they missed that window.
Hmm.
So now there's no free agents worth signing. There's nothing. There's no moves they can make. They can't make a trade to bring in a big contract. And so the only thing they can do now is before May whatever, when the franchise tags are have to be locked in, right?
Hmm.
They have to have a deal put in place for Dak. But like, they have to put the tag on by like March something or other, right?
Yeah,
Right. So before whatever that
like
day
beginning
is,
of March,
they have to have Dak extended.
lock extended,
So then
which
then
is
they can tag CD if they have to.
which is pretty easy. Make him the highest paid quarterback in the league.
If it was easy, they would have done it already because it would have
I think
benefited them.
I think they're risk. I think they don't want to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Seems kind of silly, but um, I feel like I pull this up way too often. Dak Prescott stats:
Oh no, it's yeah, he's
4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 picks, 105 rating last year. Year before he got hurt, 2,800, 23 touchdowns, 91 rating. Year before that,
with a bunch of picks.
4,400, 37, 104 rating. When you have a plus 100 rating for the season, you're doing okay. Year before that, he was hurt, 1,800, 9-4 with 99 rating. Year before that, 4,930 with 99 rating. Year before that, 3,822 with a 96 rating. Year before that, 3,322 and 86 rating. Year before that, 3,623, only 4 picks, and a 105 rating. Right? Like, he is a good, accurate, efficient quarterback that whatever offense they run, and he only had CD Lamb. He hasn't had CD Lamb for all those seasons.
Nope.
Right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. He only had him for the last 4. Right? And 2 of those were 2 of his best seasons. Right? So, I mean, he is one of the best over the middle in stride passers I've ever seen in my life. Right? Like there's just something about he gets that tight end go up the seam and the ball just like lands like in his hands like somebody's setting it there every time. I don't know how he does it.
He's-
You got to sign
yeah.
him. You have to.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
and they got so lucky. Was he a 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick, 4th-round pick,
Mhm.
right? So they got him super cheap for the first 3 seasons. And he was
Yes.
really good. You have to.
The the only thing I could think of
Mhm.
is they're banking on him getting injured.
That's stupid. That is
If he if,
dumb.
if he misses half the season due to injury, there's no way he's gonna ask for the amount of money that he would ask if he played an entire season.
But
The only thing,
which half does he miss? What if he misses the first half and he comes back the second half, throws for 2,700 yards and 20 touchdowns, and leads them? They win the last 9 games of the season, and then he takes them into the Super Bowl, right?
they
Like,
need like a hamstring injury, one of those injuries
oh,
that
a
lag
nagging
that
hammy.
nag all season
Yeah.
that you may play, you're gonna limp around, like because then they could look at those like up this year injured, last year not injured, year before that injured, the other like they could they have nothing to no leg to stand on right now.
Now, if history repeats itself, right?
It's an injury season.
It's an injury season. Just
It's
based
an
off last
injury
4,
season.
because we went injury, no
Yep.
injury, injury, no injury. If we go injury this year,
Mhm.
I don't know. Now the injury in 2022, didn't he like dislocate, or maybe it was
Destroyed his ankle. The
destroyed his
Giants rolled over his ankle and destroyed it.
So it must have been 2020 where he like hit his thumb on a helmet or something like that, right? And,
There was one of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
like totally like freak thing. He missed like 8 weeks or whatever. But you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. If I'm Jerry Jones, I don't want to play that game of Russian roulette because you have to have a quarterback. You have none in the wings. It's not like he's got old Tony Romo sitting there and be like, yeah, I think that Tony Romo's going to do it, or I think Dak
Got Trey
Prescott's going to do
Lance.
it.
You got
Trey
Trey
Lance.
Lance. He
No.
he can get Trey Lance at 20 million. Give Trey 20 million. He's there.
Yeah, that's true.
If you think that Trey Lance is the guy
Well, then you
that
better
you
hope that
want,
Dak Prescott gets hurt, and Trey Lance has got to prove you right.
so you can see him, so you
Yeah.
can see it.
Because
Of not,
Trey Lance doesn't
but
get in the
that's
field if Dak is healthy.
no. But even if let's say they don't want to make Dak the highest paid and they decide to go CD Lamb, they can then give Trey Lance 20 mil with
If you're CeeDee
20.
Lamb, I'm sorry. If you're if you're
But,
if you're
but
anybody,
if you made me the highest paid wide receiver, I'm good with it.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you
I'd
what.
love to play with Dak, but I'm good with it because there's only one ball to go around, and he's gonna give it to me all the time.
If he can get it to you, right? The man has only thrown like 100 passes in his entire college and football career,
Right.
right? Like nobody knows what he is, and if he was good, he would have he would have had an opportunity.
We'd seen him,
by
but
now.
he hadn't had a chance. The
Okay.
time when he was going to play, he then got injured again.
Yep.
And Brock Purdy came in and took his spot. He was never going to see it again.
Well, it wasn't Brock Purdy
Healthy
at
or not
first.
healthy?
It was what's his face?
That guy got injured as well.
Jimmy G, and then Jimmy G got hurt, and then it was
Jimmy
that
G
was
got
Brock
hurt.
Purdy.
He was never going to see that
No.
healthy or not healthy.
Yeah, unless Brock Purdy fell apart, which he didn't. So, and, well, actually, it depends on who you talk to. Some people really hate Brock Purdy for some reason.
They try to bank on the fact that his team is great and anyone could play in that team and in that offense and be as good as he is. That's what I think. I don't know if they hate him so much as they think he's overrated, and then they try to bring him back down.
They hate him. Brock Purdy is hated. I don't get it. Like, I really think that social media, the ability to like take a screenshot and go, "Oh, this guy was open," sort of moments out of context, like make the armchair quarterback that much more powerful. I think because what if Twitter existed in Peyton Manning's rookie year?
Oh, it was bad.
It was real bad. I think
It was
he threw
real
like
bad.
40 interceptions or whatever it was, right? Like, what if that was the case? Would Peyton Manning have ever come back? Who knows? Dak Prescott. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I have to get the stats. I know people have probably heard it before, but like I said, there's a stat, a quote I heard about stats that I love. He's a business professor, economist Aaron Levinston once said, "Statistics are like bikinis. What they reveal is suggestive, but what they conceal is vital." Right?
Yes.
I like that one because I'm a stat person.
I love stats.
Anytime I want to go prove a point, I go to stats.
Mm-hmm.
But he's right. They can prove a point, but they hide so much.
I know.
They hide so much, and that's the thing about I think the Brock Purdy thing. What I was like, yes, his stats may look good, but I think people go off of the eye test a little too much.
Oh,
And I hate that. I hate that because I'm a stats guy.
But you also love the eye test, though. You are a guy that says, "Well, he doesn't pass the eye test." You say that quite a bit.
But that's because I don't have the stats to prove my point.
Yeah, so there you go, right? Like you break down Brock Purdy's numbers like any way you want to slice them. Last year he was very good. He was like MVP caliber good, right? Mm-hmm. When he played the year before, those 8 games, whatever, he was MVP caliber good those 8 games too as a rookie, right? Mm-hmm. So it's tough because you can't. People, boy, as a Bears fan, trying to defend quarterbacks, I know what it's like to generate statistics that are like, do you know who was the most accurate passer on second down with 2 to 8 yards to go versus a 3-man rush on a Sunday afternoon when the temperature was below 60? That's right. It was Justin Fields at 80%. Right? Like, who gives a rat's ass? You can make these statistics, right? But like, it's hard when you have that big of a body of work, and no matter what brand you slice the statistics, they're good.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. All right. So I'm a OG statistics guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like the statistics that they had when I was growing up.
Sure.
Don't give me those advanced metrics. I don't want to. I don't want to hear those. Those are made up to make your player look better. Then I'm going. If you start giving me advanced metrics, then I'm going off the eye test. But I prefer my OG stats. I don't want your QBR. Want your QBR. Want your rating. What's your passer rating?
Yes.
I want 147.9 or whatever the max
Yep.
score is for that. Don't give me a 0 to 100. What is
Yeah.
this?
I know 100 is good. Yeah, so you know what that's like more like the imperial statistics, right?
Exactly.
It's like it's 12 inches, it's a foot. It makes sense. No, it doesn't. Nothing. Why 12? Right? That doesn't make sense. There's 12 months in a year. That's why. Okay, don't make sense. Don't give me 0 to 100. Give me 0 to 147.9. And then in college, it's like 188 or something like that. Like, what is that? That doesn't even make that makes even less sense.
I love it. I love it. I to this day I can't tell you what goes into passing rating, but I know
Me neither.
you need to have yards and passes and interceptions. All they
Yes.
included in that.
It's completions over attempts times yard plus whatever minus this. Yeah.
When I was growing up, that was how you determine what a good quarterback
Mhm.
was. That's what I That's what I use. Don't give me an ESPN stat QBR. Don't give me advanced metrics. Don't give me don't give me none of those.
So the NFL calculates the quarterback's passer rating using 5 variables. Now I'm taking this from the AI overview off of Google. So one of them could be chicken wings, temperature of chicken wing, pass attempts, completions, passing yards, touchdown passes, and interceptions. Each variable is scaled to a value between 0 and 2.375, with 1 being statistically average. The passer rating is calculated using a combination of 4 smaller formulas. Completion percentage. Subtract 30 from the percentage of passes that are completed, then multiply by 0.05. Yards per attempt. Subtract yards per passing attempt by 3, then multiply by 0.25. It sounds like you landed on a square in Monopoly. You're like, I'll just pay the $200. Touchdown percentage. Multiply the percentage of touchdown passes per passing attempts by 0.2. And then interception percentage, multiply the percentage of interceptions per passing attempt by 0.25, then subtract the number from 2.375. There you go.
All right. I didn't need to know that.
But I don't understand how that adds up to 140. Whatever. Subtract yards per passing attempt by 3, then multiply by 0.25. I don't know. This can't be right. It seems weird. The highest possible passer rating is 158.3.
0.3, 158.3.
Which is considered a perfect rating. In general, a rating above 100 is, yeah, I understand. I don't know. Oh, wait. Take these 4 calculations, divide the sum by 6, and multiply by 100. And voila, the passer rating. So the AI overview left the most vital part out.
To qualify for perfect passer rating, a single game a player must attempt at least 10 passes, have no interceptions, and have a minimum completion percentage of 77.5. That's insane.
Yep. So there you go.
77.5.
That's good.
78 instances of a perfect passer rating throughout history. Ben Roethlisberger did it 4 times.
Yeah. That guy drove me nuts.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if anyone I like. Kurt Warner did it twice. Payne. Chad Pennington did it. That's a name I didn't expect to see on that
Yeah.
list. Eli Manning. Oh, suck it.
Oh, who you telling suck it to?
I'm just
I do
mentioning
not care.
Wait. Those don't look like pretty good stats. That does not. What kind of game did he have? Eli he had he was 8 for 10 with 173 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. That can't be right.
Well, 8 for 10 is 80%.
Yep.
No interceptions.
And at least 10 yards
At least 10
with
yards.
173 passing yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions.
There you go.
The Giants won that game 44-7. They had 2 touchdowns. They had 2 touchdowns.
It must have been a big defensive, like, scooping scores. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Vince Evans for the Chicago Bears did it in 1980 in a 61-7 win versus the Packers. 18 for 22, 316 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
That's a good game.
Yeah, it is.
That's a
I
good
believe
game.
1980 was a strike shortened year.
I've never heard that man name mentioned in terms of great Bears quarterbacks.
No. Vincent Tobias Evans.
Tobias is a great name.
Played for USC quarterback.
61-7 though.
61-7 versus the Packers. Yeah.
You only missed 4 passes.
There you go. Suck it.
Exactly. That's what you guys. We did have Kerry Collins do it as well. I didn't want to say that, but
it is the only Bears player on the list. However, there are at least 2 Chicago Cardinals have done it. That's how long ago. 1948, 1959. I did see Y.A. Tittle on here.
Oh, was he with the Giants at the time?
Yeah, he sure was. Against the Eagles, 42-14.
Whoop they ass.
60 for 22, 61, and 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty good game.
See? If you're on this list, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know about that being true. There's a guy on here named Dick Shiner, though.
You mean he's not in the Hall of Fame?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
That's the Hall of Fame name.
That's the first ballot Hall of Fame name right there.
Dick Shiner. You sure you don't want to go by Richard? No.
No.
It loses something when you change it to Richard.
Yep.
Brock Purdy had a perfect rating.
Yep. Telling you, Brock Purdy had nice seasons. 1.5 seasons of MVP caliber football.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson had one too.
He's got 2 on this list.
Yeah.
3. I've got him at 3.
Man, Baker's got one from last year too.
Lamar was killing them. Like
Lamar's
17-20 for 324 and 5 touchdowns. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Lamar's good.
15-17, 223 and 3 touchdowns. And then 18-21, 321 and 5 touchdowns. If he gets it, he's getting it. He's going to earn every minute of it.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns. 20 passes is kind of nuts when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
He only missed 3 passes, and 5 of them went for touchdowns. So, yeah. Wow.
Yes. That's how I like it.
Dak's on here. Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of good quarterbacks.
The players that you would expect to be on here. Marcus Mariota kind of throws me for a loop.
And Geno Smith on the Jets throws you for a loop too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, Robert Griffin III, 14-15. Missed 1 pass.
200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's when he was scary. That's when I was very scared of him.
He was a really good ball player.
I was really scared of that man.
So good. Oh, well.
Next year. Daniel Jones.
Oh, I think you say Caleb Williams. He's going to have 17 perfect passer ratings. You're like, how's that even possible? He did it.
They don't say you have to have the win in those perfect rating games. Those are all losses. Oh, I want to see, did anyone lose? Yeah. Chad Pennington lost.
He's on the Jets.
Yep. Mike Buck lost. Oh, Bobby Herbert. Yeah, there's a few L's in. Man, that stinks. Yeah, that stinks. You can't lose in with a perfect rating.
No, you cannot. Now, I have got to share something with you because I have been sitting on this for quite a few days now. I wanted to share it in another chat, and I did not because I wanted to get your raw reaction to this. Somebody made a like a it looks kind of like an anime style drawing of the goats of every sport. And so they're all walking away from the perspective of the artist. So you got their backs just so you can see names
So their names and numbers
for the
and
ones that you're not sure of. There's two I have no idea who they are. One's a driver, and one might be a Williams sister, maybe. I don't know. It's tough to tell because she's like up front, and maybe she's a tennis player. I don't know.
okay.
But here we go.
Okay, that's Tiger. LeBron. What? The what? Wait a minute. Wait.
We have
Wait.
Tiger,
Throw the whole thing away.
Derek Jeter, Tom Brady,
Throw the
Messi,
Derek
LeBron James, Ovechkin,
Beck.
the greatest hockey player ever. Apparently,
Throw this whole list in the trash. This person has got to be 25 years old, and they made this. Throw the whole
maybe 25.
damn artwork in the trash. Is that Dale Earnhardt? Is that what is that
No,
supposed
because
to be?
he's got black hair. Dale Earnhardt was like a blonde guy, right? Bald, probably.
Not no, senior, right? The older one.
Oh, junior? I have no idea. I don't even know who that is. It's so
Okay.
far away, I couldn't even tell you.
But that is definitely Serena.
Okay, so
Ovechkin over Gretzky. Have they looked at a record book?
yeah, apparently not. I don't know enough about soccer, but Messi over like guys like Pele. I would think Pele would be on the GOAT.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could be. That's probably arguable. Tom Brady. That's an argue, but I could get it. Tiger. Not arguable.
Yeah. Not Derek
He
Jeter
just
isn't.
Derek Jeter's the laughable.
Derek Jeter isn't at the table at the baseball GOAT. But
Is he the best shortstop?
Ever? No.
Or third baseman?
No.
Or third baseman, whatever position he wanted to be playing.
No.
Is he the best at that? That?
No. In fact, let's see. Greatest shortstops of all time. All time MLB ranked this 2016. So here's one for 2023 from the Bleacher Report. Their list of the 25 greatest shortstops in modern MLB history. So that's probably from like 1960 on. All right. Oh, well, here's the top. Well, no, it's all of baseball. Top 10 dead ball era pre 1920s. Don't care about them. Honus Wagner, John Henry Pop Lloyd names Jack Glasscock. Huh. Clearly the greatest quarterback or the greatest shortstop of all time.
Shortstop ever lived.
Top 10 pre-divisional era, so 1920 to 1968. Ernie Banks, Archie Vaughan, Luke Appling. Names, some of these names I don't know. Joe Cronin, Lou Boudreau, I know him. Willie Wells, Pee Wee Reese, Louis Aparicio, Joe Sewell, Vern Stevens. Numbers 25 to 21. Jay Bell, Brandon Crawford, Andrelton Simmons. I don't know who. I mean, I saw it in baseball. Mark Bellinger, Edgar Renteria, 20 to 16. Tony Fernandez, Jose Reyes,
Jose Reyes.
Number 19.
This is clearly
Since 1968.
This is clearly defensive shortstops because Jose Reyes couldn't hit anything.
He had a couple years where he did. Xander Bogaerts, Francisco Lindor, Carlos Correa. 15 to 11, Omar Vizquel, Dave Concepcion, right? And so now we're getting to the guys, Bert Campaneris, Hanley Ramirez, Miguel Tejada, Troy Tulowitzki, Nomar Garcia-Pera, Jimmy Rollins, Alan Trammell. Oh, I think Jeter's going to be number one on this list. I don't think that's true. Barry Larkin, Robin Yount. We're getting into all the Hall of Famers here. Ozzie Smith at number 4.
That's mine. That's...
Oh, phew. Derek Jeter at number 3. So I don't know who it took. Alex Rodriguez, is he on there? He was more of a third baseman, wasn't he? Nope. Alex Rodriguez, number 2.
He played shortstop with the Mariners, right?
Yes, and I think with the Rangers.
With the Yankees, with the Rangers, yeah.
Okay, so who do we think the number 1 all-time shortstop is?
If they got Ozzie out, then
Oh, it's Cal Ripken Jr.
I would have had him at third base.
Oh, he plays
I know
plays
old.
shortstop almost as.
I know old ass Carl Ripken is playing third base for the Orioles
All right, so Cal
when he
Ripken,
was a little too old to be playing short anymore.
19-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, 8-time Silver Slugger, two-time MVP, 3,000 hits, 431 home runs,
Because I
1,700
remember
RBIs. I don't know.
he played in an All Star game, and I think he let Derek Jeter play shortstop in that All Star game.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. 95-9 WAR, like that. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So if he is not
The greatest
the
shortstop ever.
the greatest shortstop ever, he's definitely not the greatest player.
No.
That's
And
that's
this picture
dumb.
came out on June 28th, only a handful of days after Willie Mays passed away, who is arguably the greatest player of all time.
I gotta know who did this.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know. There's no name
that's
associated with it. I doubt it says
that's
hoops.
that is okay. I could imagine if I was writing something, me and you having a discussion, and we're just like, can we do artwork that would piss everyone off? We don't we call it the GOAT,
Uh-huh.
and we just pick the players that we know is gonna piss everyone off.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only way that list makes sense because Alex Ovechkin over Gretzky is crazy.
Yes.
LeBron over Michael Jordan is stupid to me.
Yes.
You have to put Tiger on there.
Yes.
And Serena is the best female tennis player we ever seen. I'm not gonna say she's probably one of the most dominating tennis players of all time.
Of all time.
But
Easily.
but there are like is she the best tennis player of all times? I don't know.
She might be.
Best female tennis player of all time. She's probably better than a lot of the guys, but
Yep.
I can't. It would be arguable to say that she's the best tennis player of all time. Best female tennis player, can't argue with that. Who else is on that list? I don't know enough about soccer to even
yeah,
argue Messi.
I would think like Pele would be like the go-to for.
But see, that's why I feel like this is definitely some recency bias with someone who's got to be 24 to 30 years old. He may not even know who Wayne Gretzky is. He never even looked at the record book to see his name is on top of all of them.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying to figure out this person, see if they listed them all. Ovechkin, Jeter. Yeah, no, I have not seen a single person in the comments mention who the driver is because you can't tell. Jeter.
From the outfit, it looks like Dale Earnhardt Sr. because I remember he had
I'm looking at a picture. Somebody's like, is that? And they put a
yeah
picture of Dale Earnhardt Sr. there.
The Goodwrench black and red. Yeah,
but you think he'd have the hat on though, because that's how I picture him with the hat and the mustache. That's how I always think of the man.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
But is he the greatest of all time? Probably not. I don't follow racing, but I really doubt it.
I don't know either. At one point in time, after his death, I was looking at it for a while. I became a fan of Mark Martin.
No, I have no idea. I don't know anything about racing. I just remember when Dale Earnhardt died. Oh God.
Yeah.
There's a thing here, and I'm sure it exists in other parts of the country as well, because it's a very American thing. It's called Candy Cane Lane. It's here in West Dallas, which is like a suburb of Milwaukee. And every year, these two streets, if you live on these streets, you have to, like, when you buy
decorate
the house,
your house.
You sign on to this thing that says you have to decorate your house. Now, and it is the gaudiest
Of
thing
course.
ever, right? It's like, but you pay money to pay. You donate $5 to charity. You drive up and down these streets. Everybody goes to watches it, looks at it just to see all the things. And I always try to pick the house that you could tell they don't want to participate, but they do.
There you go, huh?
And there's a house every year that has like this big Dale Earnhardt inflatable. Like and it feels
Out of place.
so ironic, right? Like they're like, here it is. Here's what you get. Like we couldn't get Jesus with a boner inflatable, so here's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Right? Like that's what it felt. That's what it feels like. You know, they wanted Santa humping Rudolph, but they couldn't get that. They were told to take it down. Right? So it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. like as Santa delivery. Like there's nobody that in my mind that could be serious about that, but I'm sure there are. Right? But if it's Dale Earnhardt, you would think the number 3 would be somewhere on there, so it'd be identifiable.
So definitely.
But oh well, whatever. I wanted to show that to you because I knew the reaction would have to be similar to mine.
I saw LeBron before I saw anyone else, and that immediately pissed me off. Then you said Derek Jeter. I'm like, all right, now this has got to be a joke.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be a joke. It can't be real.
I don't know if it's people trolling or not, but
it has
maybe
to
it
be.
is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Greatest of all time baseball player, Derek Jeter?
No, he's not. But somebody thinks he is. It's clearly a Yankees fan. Because no other
Not Mickey Mantle.
No. Oh, yeah. So it's
not
like
DiMaggio. If it was a Yankee fan, it's a Yankees fan who was born in the 90s when they were winning 3-4 championships and got to see them win 95, 96, 97. Then they won some more in the two. It's got to be a Yankee fan who was born in the 1990s.
So you have a legacy. You have a franchise as a legacy of Babe Ruth. Right? Lou Gehrig. Joe DiMaggio.
Lou Gehrig. Yep.
Right. Mickey Mantle.
Yep.
Roger Maris,
Roger Maris, who is the home run king forever.
Yeah. You have pitchers.
Yogi Berra played there.
Yogi Berra, Don Larson. You have guys.
Reggie Jackson was there. It's just like
Ricky Henderson was there.
Ricky. You had pitchers.
Dave Winfield. Like there are so many amazing Yankee players that have played the 100 years of Yankees. They had the 27 Yankees, which is like considered the greatest team of all time, right?
Uh-huh.
And Derek Jeter is the GOAT of baseball because you're a Yankees fan. Or maybe Jessica Alba made it. I don't know. I did see somebody put Derek Jeter's greatest hits on like a baseball diamond. Like and I was like, oh man. Back to that conversation. It's so infuriating. Let me see if I can find that picture. Because Derek Jeter's greatest hits.
Oh, Derek, Jesus. That picture's gonna hurt.
I gotta find it.
I wish you'd have posted that in the chat. Oh my God.
I'll
I'm glad you didn't know. Oh, I'm glad you did. It's infuriating. The only one on that list, the only one, like I said, 2 that are unanimous is Tiger Woods and Serena. That's it.
Yes.
The rest, come on. You could at least let Muhammad Ali walk on in that list.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali or even Mike, right? You could have either one of those guys on there.
Yeah, just like, come on.
Oh God, I can't find. I should have liked that photo, but it's something I didn't want stuck to my timeline. Oh, I guess now likes are secret. Now I guess
they are secret.
Forgot about that. Well, that brings me to this. I want to complain something real fast about Twitter because Twitter's terrible, fucking awful, right? But I have to. I have recently gotten onto the watching The Boys bandwagon, right? So I'm many seasons behind, but I'm catching up because I'm really liking it. And the reason I started watching it is because I saw people complaining about the current season. Actually, I saw a clip that was like a QAnon spoof and like Butcher's sitting there at a QAnon meeting and people are talking. Did you see this clip at all?
No.
Okay. So it's crazy. It is crazy straight up QAnon bullshit about Tom Hanks and underground baby trains and stuff like that, right? Out of control, right? But people were getting mad, right? So people were getting mad at this. They jumped the shark. They're being ridiculous. And it's the people that The Boys has always made fun of are finally figuring out that they're getting made fun of, right?
I've seen that as a meme now.
And Garth Ennis said said whatever he said. He said the thing that surprises me most is that they finally caught on, right? So I'm like, all right, I gotta watch this show. I've been putting off. The reason I hadn't watched it before was kind of Garth Ennis's
The
writing.
book.
Kind
Yeah.
of like I find it like really tries to be like uh, shock value goof, like not.
18 to 27-year-old me loved it.
Yes, and
It was meant for 18
I
to 27 year
associate
old
it with
me.
the comic shop in Orlando and the one dude that worked there. Remember, he was the one that always the bald dude that we'd get so excited like this book's got tits in it. And you're just like, oh, okay, right? So I associate the book with him, so it always put me off. And then I worked with a guy who was like, you should watch it; it's really good. And I was like, I don't know if I can't take your value judgments of things seriously because I take some of the other stuff very unseriously. And I bet you he's upset about the current season of The Boys.
Okay.
So I started watching it, right? And I've done no interaction with any boys content online anywhere, right? Nothing. I don't know. I know the meme. I know the Homelander go looking scared and then
Yeah.
smiling meme. I know that one.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the context of it. I have no idea what happens. I know the Homelander sitting in a movie theater meme. Those are the only two memes I know. I don't know anything else about The Boys. I started watching it. I'm loving The Boys. Like I'm in season 2, right?
Really good.
And I was scrolling through, and because The Boys are a thing now,
Trending.
the trending, so people are posting things, and I liked the most out of context thing on the face of the earth. Let me find it. And it was right below that previous post. And I just got to complain about, okay, here it is. Here it is. Going to be bummed if The Boys ends without solving the greatest mystery of the series. Why does every t-shirt MM wear look like it's never been worn before? And MM he has the greatest t-shirt lineup in history. And after I read this, I'm like, his shirts are all very crispy. Very like fresh from the store. This is the only singular piece of boys content I have ever interacted with. I gave it a single like on Twitter. Now what is my Twitter timeline filled with? Boys spoilers. Boys spoilers.
Oh, you waited this whole
I've liked
gone
one
years.
single piece of content that is not even there's no storyline associated with it. There's no opinion associated with it. It's just a picture of dude with a very fresh out of the package NWA t-shirt,
shirt.
right? And after I saw this, I started noticing, like, oh man, that Boogie Down Productions shirt is it might still have the folded up from on the shelf creases on it, right? Now I'm getting them, and I have to scroll. I'm gonna have to start blocking boys content. Like how? Like why? Why is it doing this to me? One thing, and now it floods my timeline. That's just like Elden Ring. Right? I was like,
Yes.
oh, here's somebody doing something. That's cool. I have no idea. I like it. Now my timeline's filled with people beating Elden Ring, and like, oh yeah, I did it with two mouses and 6 computers.
Yes.
Whatever.
I Googled Elden Ring today.
Yes.
We was talking about it today. I go on Instagram. I watched a guy beat Elden Ring in Morse code.
I saw the person beat Elden Ring with like a Dance Dance Revolution pad. Right.
I saw a fish beat the first boss. These are things that I saw today.
Yes.
I just said I was going to start playing Elden Ring again. I saw the guy who beat it in Morse code. Apparently, Elon Musk said he couldn't, so he did it. It's like it was,
good.
Yeah. But you remember you have seen the memes of Elon Musk being terribly bad at
yes.
You remember when we posted that a couple years ago?
Posted his build.
His build was still notoriously horrible. Like, what are you doing, my man?
It was like a strength build with a bunch of stuff and intellect. Yes. And I guarantee 100% he did that. He's like, well, I'm smart.
I'm super strong, too.
Yeah. All right. So being smart and super strong, we got to end on this. And because the Olympics is approaching. Yes. And I will go on record as saying I think Simone Biles is possibly one of the greatest athletes to ever live on this planet.
Okay.
It may not translate to things like baseball or basketball or football, right? Might be basketball. But somebody took this picture.
At 4'9" or 4'11", it's not going to translate that well.
But once I show you this picture, and this is not doctored except for the line and the number that's drawn here to represent the height at which her head is on this jump. Look at her in the air. She's not jumping off out of the stands. This is in her routine. Her head is roughly 12 feet in the air.
Nice. Now, that ground has bounce to it.
It does. Yes, it does have additional spring.
But it's not a trampoline.
No, it's not a trampoline. It's not a springboard. It is fabricated to give and to help elevate. But you're not getting look, it is not a trampoline. You're right.
That is insane because all I'm thinking about the torque that's going to be on her knees when she
lands. Yeah.
She's only she's not barely 5 foot if she is 5 feet. So that's at least almost 3 times her height.
Yes.
Even in a trampoline, it'd be difficult. And it would hurt.
Yes.
When I landed, it would really hurt.
But on the thing with the trampoline is it's got that additional give, right? Like you can go down and trampoline and then it'll spring you back up. Like this, it's not concrete, obviously.
Yes.
But
it probably likens to more, and I don't know if this is true, but like the wrestling match.
I was thinking the same thing, like a wrestling
where where they have some give to it, but no one's jumping 12 feet in the air. No. And that's not jumping 12 feet in the air. Her head
is 12 feet in the air.
It's 12 feet in the air. If she lifted her arm up, she's dunking on a
14-foot rim, right?
14-foot rim, yes.
Yes. Now, so she's like the height in the air that the guys at it's halftime. Let's put the trampoline out there and we're all going to do flips and stuff and bounce off the backboard.
Off of a trampoline, yes.
Yes, off of a trampoline. But she's doing it off of the ground. But it's a gymnastics-enhanced springy surface.
Yes.
That is
not a trampoline.
Not a trampoline. But not concrete. But whatever's in between, right? She is still, and you got to consider, she's doing this while
twisting.
Who knows what she's doing, right? She's spinning around. She's flipping and spinning. She might be on her 4th flip right now. I have no idea. She could be coming down in this picture. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She has got to be one of the greatest athletes to ever live.
Still doing it.
Regardless of sport.
Oh, so we're talking about the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I've been a fan since I was a kid. Love the Olympics. Me too. One of the things that I find crazy, and I'm not 100% sure of the statistic, but if someone was to look it up, they'd see it. Most of the women's track and field sports, the world records, are all from the 1980s.
Okay.
And they are so far ahead of everyone, they don't believe they will ever be beaten. And it's crazy to me because every other sport, as technology advances, the people get faster, the outfits get smaller. I think Jackie Joyner Flojo holds the record, but I think that's a testament to how much they were juicing back then.
Yes, undetectable juicing.
Undetected.
I ate a horse pituitary today.
And Flojo didn't live as long as a lot of people, like most athletes, but they hold the records of all those. They will never get beaten. People will think that those records are unbreakable because they were probably on some stuff. They were on some stuff.
I'm curious now. I have to look. So let's pull it up. That's the women's track and field. Does it say what year? Yes, it does. The 100 meter. It's from 1988. Florence Griffin Flojo. The 200 meter from 1988. Same year, a few months later, Flojo. The 400 meter, 85. German lady, don't know. 800 meter, 83. The Czech Republic. The 1,000 meter is 96 at least.
Yeah, I bet long distance probably starts to get a little
long distance,
better.
Yes. But even the 3,000 meters, the 5K, 2023. Yeah,
Yeah.
all those short distance sprint ones are all from the 80s.
And then they don't even come close. The ladies now don't even come close to those records. Like, like it's so crazy that
Yeah.
we assumed that there was juicing going on.
And then you got guys like
And
Ben
no,
Johnson that are like vilified for the rest of their life. The high jump, 1987, from Bulgaria. The long jump, 1988, from Russia. The shot put, 1987. So no woman has been stronger than in 1987.
yeah, those 80s,
The
those 80s,
discus throw, 1988. Oh, you're right. This is insane.
yeah, it's one of the craziest things. They don't even come close. They don't even just like their Olympic record, or we don't even know. Is FloJo will have that record as far as they concerned forever.
The heptathlon is 88. Jackie Joyner Kersey. Let's see if there's any other 80s. Man, there's a ton. I was not aware of this. Well, now here's something that'll probably be broken. The 50-kilometer walk.
And I believe that the American women did win the relay race
Uh,
recently.
let's see, the 4x100 was 2012.
Yep, that was the one.
The 4x200 is 2000. There's an
Hmm.
unofficial one here from 2024, apparently.
Yeah. I believe the relays have come close.
Now here's the
That they've done.
the 4x4 is 1988. The 4x8 is 84. Yeah, it's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was.
Is it the same way for men's? No, it can't be
No,
because
nope, because Usain Bolt.
yeah.
Usain Bolt. That's what that to me is what's crazy about it. Uniforms have. If you see where FloJo ran that race in, I think she was in a whole lace outfit, like
Yeah. With a parasol behind her.
like it's now she amazing. She looks fast and looks amazing, but the outfits aren't even like like what they wear. The technology, the shoes that they were wearing are probably heavier than they are now. Like all the technology that's changed.
Yes.
It's nothing. They don't come close.
Yes. Now to call it a lace outfit is a stretch. Let's see.
Okay, that's not the one. I've seen her in like full lace like leggings.
Look at that hair. That hair would have to slow you down. Very tall hair.
Yes. This is type in FloJo lace and you will see what
I'm
I'm
afraid what's
talking
going to
about.
happen. Let's do it. Oh yeah,
Look
you're
at
right.
that. Look at that.
There she is. Yeah. Looks like it's straight out of like a fitness video almost.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Lace
And
leggings.
she's killing them in this.
Yes.
She's absolutely destroying them in this.
You're right. I've never seen that before. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. I had no idea. Those 80s women, man, I remember those Olympics though. That was because I was Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson and FloJo and Jackie Joyner Kersey and all those. Yeah.
The 88 and the 92 Olympics are the ones that really got me into Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 92, we had the Dream Team.
Yes.
And in 92, we had that big hype of Dave versus Dan. They had that big promotion, and neither one of them
Made the Olympics, right?
Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson, I think I want
remember
to
that
say.
now. I even say it. Something that was lost to my memory. Dave versus Dan.
It was
Dan
on
versus
TV.
Yeah.
It was on TV for the entire year, and then they get to the Olympic trials and they don't make it. Like
Reebok, 92 Olympics. Dan and Dave was an advertising merchandising campaign in American shoe manufacturer Reeboks during the build-up of the 92 Olympics in Barcelona. Promotion was meant to generate excitement and support for the Olympic competition between American decathletes Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson. However, the campaign had to be modified when O'Brien failed to qualify for the Olympics.
Qualify.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that now that you say that. I
No,
remember
that
those commercials. I'm Dan, I'm Dave. Blah blah blah.
Carl Lewis was big. It was
Yeah,
the 90s. It was the Dream Team Olympics. That like the 88 and 92 are the ones that got me into it. 96, I was still into it. That was in Atlanta, but not as much as 92. I remember 92.
yeah. Those
Yeah.
'92 Olympics. I so those like '84 was Los Angeles
Yep.
and '88.
88 is
So
Seoul,
80,
Korea.
84 was a big one for me. I was just
Mhm.
about 10.
That's
As
Carl Lewis dominates that
Carl
one, right? I
Lewis
think.
dominated that one, but McDonald's had a promotion.
Okay.
Here you go. Ready? And I remember this like it was yesterday. You peeled the tab off the drink or whatever, and it gave you a sport. And if the Americans got a gold in that sport, you got a free whatever food that was. Now, the
Oh.
'84 Olympics also featured a Russian boycott. So, guess who won a lot of gold medals that year? Guess who won?
McDonald's like, oh.
Yes. Let's see. The 1984 Olympics medal count. All right.
The U.S. won the basketball. That was Jordan and Patrick Ewing was on that team. That was a crazy college team in '84, I believe, too.
So 84, like if I remember correctly, it was like if they get a bronze, you get a small fry. If they get a silver, you get a medium fry. The United States won 83 golds that year, 61 silvers and 30 bronzes for a total of 174 medals. Second place was Romania with 53 medals. Or I'm sorry, 20 golds, 53 medals. West Germany had 59 medals, 17 golds.
That's '84. So it was in LA. So of
Yes.
course the US had to show out that
Yes.
year. They had to show out.
I'm going to look that up. McDonald's
Olympic
promotion.
promotion.
God, I remember it like it's yesterday. Because it was like you went to McDonald's, you saved those things. It was a lot like the Monopoly, right?
Yes.
Let's see. It was a food giveaway blunder that ended up costing the fast food restaurant chain more than expected when the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc countries boycotted the '84 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Let's see. Purchase me. Let's see. I gotta find the gist of it. How did it work? It had scratch-off cards printed with different Olympic events. The cards were handed to customers that could that's what it was in the United States, and they could be redeemed for a specific food item if the Olympic won a medal at the special event. A gold medal was worth a Big Mac, silver an order of French fries, and a bronze was a Coca-Cola. The slogan "When the U.S. wins, you win" was adopted for the campaign.
The obesity rate that year went through the roof.
Yep.
A Big Mac for a gold? Man.
Yeah.
And they won how many golds?
They won. Oh shoot. They won a lot of golds. 83 of them. So 83 times.
That thousands, maybe millions
Of Big Macs were probably
of
given out
people would get, yeah,
Or-
millions.
Yes.
And it probably was not even a buy a drink to get the big.
It was just
people
straight
were
up
walking
redeemed.
in.
Yeah.
Big Mac, please.
Yep.
Oh man, y'all ruined it for everyone. Because after that, it's probably like, all right, you got to buy something.
Yeah.
with the purchase of a large fry or something. Please
Yes,
give
please.
us some money.
Minimum dollar spent. You have to do this. Yeah. 84. I remember that Olympics. Like, yeah, because of L.A. The Carl Lewis, because Carl Lewis probably won like 6 gold medals that year because of long
Yep.
jump, the 100 meter, 200 meter, and then the Big Macs. Lots of free Big
Yeah.
Macs. I mean, they didn't get off with the cheap ones. I mean,
The Big Mac was the
gold.
the item,
Yes.
but it was the item. That's probably predates quarter pounders, double quarter pounders.
well, it definitely
It was Big Mac.
It definitely predates double quarter pounders and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like Big Macs.
Maybe a fish sandwich
fish,
they had and cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Those were your options.
83 golds, 61 silvers. The second closest silver was 19 by West Germany. They even had more bronzes than everybody else, 30. West Germany had 23. So, like, the United States dominated every flippin' event, every category.
You going in there getting a whole extra value meal just because they just won a bronze, gold, and
Yeah.
a silver.
Slap 3 down, slide them up. Man, imagine
That was
that.
that wasn't smart.
I bet you it was smart at the time. They're like,
Yes.
this is gonna be great. And then every
No,
every
please
country
stop winning. Please
every
stop
country
winning.
east of the Iron Curtain,
The ones that juice. The
yep,
ones.
the Bulgarias of the world, the Russias of the world, the Czechoslovakias of the world, they're all not there.
That means gymnastics. They were crushing them in.
Yep.
Just yeah. But this year it's in Paris and it's coming up too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be watching it.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I think my kids might be excited. You know, what I found out is in the Olympics this year.
What's that?
Breakdancing.
It's big in Paris.
Breakdancing is in the Olympics. It's a medal event, and it's not men's and women's. It's b-boys and b-girls. I am not kidding you. I am looking forward to that.
And
There's going to be a time where DJing is going to be in the Olympics somehow.
you the host country gets to add sports that they want every year.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's how it works. The host country gets to pick and gets to add some sports that they want.
Yeah.
And they picked that, and I believe 3-on-3 basketball.
Outstanding.
Yeah, because they have, like I told you, some of the like they've got those Les twins,
Mm-hmm.
and they're professional dancers. They're from France, and they're as famous dancers as you're gonna get, break dancers and dancers you're gonna get. And yeah, 3-on-3 basketball. It's gonna be pretty fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Break dancing. That's
I love breakdancing, man. Always love breakdancing.
how does one judge break dancing?
I don't know. How many spins you can do in your head? I don't have no idea.
Okay, all right.
I don't know how it's scored. It's got to be like any other of those creative dance sort of things that they judge. It's got to be based
Yeah.
upon whatever.
Technical difficulties
Yes.
and yeah.
And you probably
But
got to
then
do
it's
like
just
so many things. Like you have to do X amount of this and X amount of that, right?
it's gonna be interesting to see. I
Mm.
know judges are like, what? What? How do we judge? It's like, where do you get it? Babito is gonna be crazy legs.
I really hope it's like
Crazy legs is judges.
old ass white dudes judging. That's what I'm picturing, like the gymnastics guys, you know?
10.
Yep.
Oh my! What's gonna be even better is listening to an announcer speak slowly about the moves as they're happening.
Bob
Ooh.
Costas?
Oh, John is doing what they call a 360 headstand.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult moves that you could do, like that. Because they got to break it down to everyone.
They're going to have cutaways to like the history though.
That you hopeful,
But you know what they're going to do is they're going to be like, here's a 5-minute expose on the worm. Right? It's going to be stuff like that.
Turbo and Ozone has got to
It's
make
got-
an appearance.
yeah.
They gotta be there.
You
Come
think?
on. You gotta get the classics.
Yes.
But they'll just have the Les twins there.
Or they'll have like some sort of like computer animation where like a guy's putting down a piece of cardboard and then it burns up and it turns into something else, right? Somebody doing the robot. And
Is it gonna be over music? Or is it just a routine, not over music?
I hope so. It's got to be over music. It's got to be over music.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's
It's gotta be.
Like so, in like ice dancing, any of those dancing things, they have
True.
music associated with them. Like even the flow routines. Yeah. What if it's got to be like unlicensed elevator music, sort of renditions of things,
Oh no.
or they all have to do the same thing? It's like they're all doing Herbie Hancock or something like that.
yes. African Bambaataa. That's to make it fair. You have to do it. We all have to perform the same.
You got 4 songs you can choose from. Don't matter which one it is. But they're all.
Now I'm interested. Now I wasn't even thinking about that. Now I'm interested.
I would love it though. Like I know this is absolutely ridiculous, but if they had like live band performing, like an orchestra performing the music,
and that they are that they're
They
breakdancing
don't do
to.
that for any other event, but it'd be awesome if they did it for this event. I'd love it. Love it.
I've got some friends going to Paris to watch
Really?
the Olympics. Yeah,
Wow. That's got to be a
go.
ticket and a half right there. Good for them.
They've been planning for this one. They're going to watch the track and field
Are
events.
they from France?
No, they're from Texas.
Okay. Yeah, are they from Paris, Texas?
No,
Are they
no,
going to Paris, Texas? They just
I
said we're going to
said
Paris to watch the Olympics.
they got their tickets and didn't look to see if it said France on it.
Yeah. We bought this ticket 6 years ago.
Oh, but yeah, that's what they'll be doing. I'm looking at this picture of the FloJo's legs. She's got muscles on top of muscles.
Yes.
And she's probably juicing. But I'm not gonna
Nope. No proof of
not
that
gonna
now.
nope, none. None. The record books don't say anything otherwise. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm I am I'm really locked in, not in like the weird out of the blue obsessive nature of people are with the WNBA this year, but the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. She's 11 straight double doubles. Just got named to the All Star game.
Yep.
She's the real deal. I don't care about
She's
anything else. She is the real flipping deal. And the fact that she fell to like sixth or whatever in the draft seems kind of silly.
yeah. 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 Like yeah. She got in trouble for doing Caitlin Clark's thing to Clayton when they beat them in the national championship.
Oh well,
Yeah, but no, she's good. She's
she's real
good.
good.
She's strong post player, rebounder. No, she's good.
Yep, it's exciting. It's exciting. I like. She's like one of the big ticket items in Chicago right now. Her and Caleb and what's his face from the Blackhawks. Like all three were drafted this last year.
Hmm.
What is his name? I can't even think of his name. He is
Um,
supposed to be the second coming of Gretzky. We'll see. Um,
like Sid the Kid was supposed to be.
yeah, but I mean, it happens. So whatever. All right, Harlan, we gotta cut it short, or
Yeah.
cut it now, and it's not short at all.
Yeah. Olympics. Man, we don't do a lot of Olympic talking. I'm glad we did.
Yes. Well, I mean, and it was just a service level Olympic